on right now. There we go. Right. Okay. So skipping straight into it. If you're on YouTube, and most of you are now, what you need to do is put the comments in the little question box while I'm live, and I can answer them. But bear in mind that we've got a few minutes delay. Subscribe, because obviously then I can let you know about other events that I'm doing as well. And if you're in the Zoom room, which is a few of you in here, then what you need to do is put your questions in the chat, put your hand up, and I can obviously answer them that way. Now, last month we did about the summer makeup masterclass. Now, there's been a few great nuggets of feedback, and I thought I'd just share them with you. Julie said that it was great for her to be able to work out how to use an SPF. Sam was all about expiry dates, because remember I spoke about how SPFs go off and how it's really important that you actually use the date that you purchase a product. Anna was all about buffing and blending, which we'll talk a little bit about tonight as well. And Beth said how to use self-tan, and that was how you can use it in different ways and mix it into your foundation, which was a great way of using products. And Beth said that, and Jan said about skin types and textures, because it's really important that you know what your skin type and texture is. So if you want to find out, there's little bits of information, go back and watch. It's on the YouTube now. Go and watch the summer masterclass. So a little bit about me. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I do live sessions all the time. I'm a very casual manner. I'm not sort of like all bells and whistles, but I've got a really loyal following. And for me, it's all about learning and using the products that you already have. Most people don't understand things about sell-by dates. They don't understand about perhaps what's popular with the pros out there. And it's great to know what clients already using, because a lot of YouTube videos are going to focus about selling your products, and I'm really about how to use up what you've already got and how I can help you be a savvy shopper with the things that you've used. I've seen thousands of makeup bags over the years, and what I really need to share with you is a massive thank you, because over the years, if you didn't support me, I wouldn't be able to fund these sessions. So if you feel like supporting me, go online. I'll talk about some of the products on here, but I also do services as well, which I've got a membership that you can join. So let me just share with you the things that I do. So if you're a beauty insider, that's somebody who's purchased products off me. I'll be really quick on this, and then do hang on and we'll get straight into how to not do those makeup mistakes. You will be a beauty insider with EstherMarie. And I always give loads of free stuff and keep you in contact with all the things that I do. If you're a member, which is something that a lot of you have upgraded to, you can have me giving you lots of information over the next 12 months. So that's not just these beauty lives. That starts with a 3-hour session with me where I go straight into your makeup bag and really work out the best things that are for you. You get a £25 voucher off products. If you need to buy anything, you can use that over the next 12 months. You get 20% off products, and lots of programs and courses that I do, which are really focused on using the products you've already got and knowing what to go and buy when you need to go and buy it. As you know, I'm a product formulator, so I've manufactured my own cosmetics and skincare products, and I really downscaled what I did over the last few years, and now I just make my 3 treatment oils, and soon to be 4, as you can see me there having a good play with things. Products you can try in travel kits, and I also do makeup remover cloths, mixing compacts, makeup brushes, kits of makeup brushes, pro bags to put your products in, brow tools, which means you don't need to go to the beauty salon. You can just sort out your brows straight at home, with all little things like powder puffs as well. So let's go straight into this little session. It's how to avoid those makeup mistakes, which is how to buy products and how to use products. Now, most people do make mistakes. I would probably say, with the thousands of people that I've seen over the years, everybody makes mistakes. It's extremely expensive and it's extremely stressful. But what I wanted to share with you is the simple fact that if you don't make mistakes, how are you going to learn? So it's really interesting to look at those ways that most people think about mistakes and how it's actually not that bad to do. Because my mission is all about removing the overwhelm and helping you choose and use the products and really making you rethink. And I do this with clients and professionals as well. So let's start with what's your influence. So how did you get hold of those makeup products to start off with? Did you watch an influencer online on YouTube and they basically sold you a product because they said this is the best thing on the market and you really need to buy it? Or did you listen to a friend or a family member who said, I've purchased these products and they're really, really good. You really need to go out there and use them. They're really good to use. Or did you see a promotion with a brand where it was buy two, get one free? Or maybe it was a brand on the telly and you thought to yourself, that's a really good brand and I would really like to, buy that culture that they've got. Maybe it's Yves Saint Laurent, or maybe it's Chanel, or maybe it's somebody like that basically you would like to follow or you would like to do. So there's so many influences out there. So I want you to start thinking about what your influence is. So it might be that you go into a shop and you've got this scenario where someone's sitting there and they say, can I help you? And they basically say, this product's great for you, or this product's great for you. And then you're left with the decision, or which one do I buy? Or do you go to the self-select stands and you stand there and you think to yourself, oh, they look really good colours. I don't know which one, but one of them's got to be good. I'll just buy one of them and when I get home, it'll be fine. Have you watched a YouTube tutorial and basically seen these fantastic products and thought, Christ, she looks absolutely amazing. It's taken away all the wrinkles and she looks absolutely brilliant. Or maybe you've spoken to a friend or you've gone into a shop and you've just thought, this is really good. Let's try this. Of course, there's the fantastic, what do they call it? Shiny object syndrome. You go to Harrods and you go to Selfridges and you go to Harvey Nicks and you go to these shops and you think, wow, this brand looks amazing. There's so many ways, it might be Superdrug. There's so many influences out there how to buy products. It might be that someone's brought you a gift. But do they have your best interests at heart is what I always say. Now, me coming from a commercial side of things, I know that the brands probably don't have your interests at heart, but what they do have is your purse and they want to sell you some products. Because over the last 30 years, I've been in this industry, 80% of products are not used fully in people's makeup bags. And that could be anything from they've tried it once, didn't work, so I'm not going to try it again. Or they've purchased it, they've put it in the bag, or they've perhaps already got that product, or it's even gone off. But my research has shown that nearly 80% of products are not fully used in people's makeup bags. And for me, it's really important now than ever before to rethink how we use our products. The main thing is that when people used to come and see me, I used to work out which products was right for them. And we used to decide that there was probably, quite a few products that weren't working for them. They were too light, too dark, too sparkly, too thick, too thin. Maybe it's gone off, maybe the packaging's broken. And we just literally reach for the bin and say, let's put it in the bin. And for me now, it's got quite personal. I don't want to throw anything away. I want to make sure we can reuse and repurpose products. So that's what I'm really trying to do. The question is, are all mistakes really that bad? And the answer is no. The truth is, as a professional makeup artist, we love making mistakes. If we didn't like making mistakes, we wouldn't learn how to do new techniques. We wouldn't learn that, oh, that brown goes really well with that purple, or that sparkly eyeshadow goes really well over that lipstick, or that cream moisturizer blends really well with that foundation. So if we didn't mix and blend products, we wouldn't have any idea that we could actually achieve great things. So this is me actually out in Romania, and I was sent over there by a brand to actually demonstrate a new range of cosmetics. And I didn't know the brand very well, to be honest with you. So what I did was I got hold of some products and I started picking them up. And I hadn't got time, to be honest, to read what was on the back of them, whether it was an eyeshadow or lipstick. I just started playing around with products. And what was absolutely fascinating was the more I did this, these makeup artists, and you'll see in a minute, there was quite a big room of them. These makeup artists just got more and more engrossed with what I was doing and was thinking this was absolutely fantastic. So if you can repurpose or do a product in a slightly different way, then the error that you had basically goes away and it makes life far more fun and makes you save a lot of money. So that was a close-up of where I was. But here you can see, and there was more people in the room than what you can see here. But these are makeup artists where I'm standing there with an interpreter. She's actually interpreting what I'm saying. These people actually can't speak English. So we had that barrier that we had to work out. But these makeup artists or professional people were totally intrigued with what I was doing. And I thought to myself, there's actually quite a lot of information there. But what do you do when you've already got products and you're not going to go and buy a load of products? Well, this is my little template of what you need to do. Avoid throwing away. Don't go anywhere near a bin. Basically, put things to one side that you're not using, and then let's have a play with how we can use them again. Then once you've got those products, apply what you normally use, and then think about how can you correct what you've already got. If you're on Zoom, can you just try and mute yourselves? I don't know. I'll mute you. That's it. Just somebody I can hear. So what we can do is, if you've not already followed me, you don't know about that I do a makeup bag revamp. Check out my makeup bag revamp. That's a really good way to get started, and you'll get the fine details of how I actually work. But my number one goal to you is, regardless of you sitting in here, if you're 15, 25, 35, 65, 95, whatever your age, what I want you to do is remember when you were a teenager or when you first started to wear makeup, how did you learn how to use it? And the simple fact is, we all played. We'd stay up in our bedrooms or we'd go out for an occasion. We'd put some products on. We might even walk down the stairs looking completely hideous. But at the end of the day, the only way we worked out how to learn in those days, before the days of YouTube, was the fact we had fun playing as a teenager. And I would highly recommend that you do this, not on a day that you're going out, but on an evening. These dark nights are coming now. On an evening, or when you've got nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon, have a play with all your makeup products, tip them out, go and watch the makeup bag revamp, and I'll show you how to separate your products. But have a go at playing with your makeup products, and you can really work out a little bit of magic with those products. Now, if you aren't putting your makeup on in the right way, in the right position, I really want to get rid of that. Why they? If you're not putting your makeup on in the right position and you've not got the right light on your face, you might find that you do actually look really good and you've not made any mistakes with how you've put your makeup on, but you might find it's your light. So the biggest thing is, as well, use lots of different mirrors and use lots of different lights and use lots of different positions. So do your makeup one day in a certain place and do your makeup in another day in a different place, because we get into a bit of a rut as to where we put our makeup on. And it's really good if you move about in different places in your house, put your makeup on, you know the score. You go away on holiday, your makeup looks completely different. And the reason is because you're probably using a different light source to do it. So here's some tips, and I will run through these in a practical session with how to make your makeup go a little bit further. Don't throw it away. I'm just going to clean my screen there because I think it might be just a little bit blurred. But how to basically make your makeup work harder for you. Number one rule, avoid throwing away products. And to do that, you need to make sure you use them up. And the second thing is learn how to apply and correct your products. So these are the questions that I got asked after sending out to a few of you by email or WhatsApp. Have you got any questions? So the key thing was eyeliner. If your eyeliner goes on, your liquid eyeliner that you try and do, or you try and get it nice and tight on your eyeline, Put your eyeliner on, don't worry about it, and I'll show you how to do this in a minute. But what you're going to do is you're going to put it on, and then you're going to use a foundation brush. Sorry, you're going to use a bit of foundation with one of my flat brushes, and you can chisel into it and get the absolute perfect line you like. This could be for lip line, or it could be for eyeliner and for your brows as well. So the rule with when you're doing eyeliner, have a go at doing your eyeliner, but let me show you how you can correct it when you first start doing it, or perhaps you're doing it and you don't like the way it's going on. I'll show you how to change and avoid that mistake. Mascara. Now use a separate spoolie and a brush with a magnifying mirror. Again, I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to reach for those products now. So I've got them in my hand. So when I come to show you these ways of doing them, they're right in front of me here. Now, with shades, this could be shades of eyeshadow, lipstick, it could be shades of foundation. My biggest trick is, and this is where you do spend a little bit more money, but by spending a little bit more money, you'll save money. Buy two, and ideally buy one a bit too light and one a bit too dark. So if you need a grey eyeshadow, buy two grey eyeshadows. Buy one a little bit too light, a little bit too dark. Avoid buying the sets with all different colours, and you need single eyeshadows. If you're buying a foundation, buy a little bit too light, a little bit too dark. Don't necessarily buy the one you think. Buy the one a bit too light, a bit too dark. If it's an eyeliner, a lipstick, an eyeshadow, anything, the trick is to get the best shade that's going to work for you. Buy a lighter one and a darker one. The reason why this is going to work for you is because let's think about the seasons of the year. You're always going to go lighter in the winter and you're going to go darker in the summer. So buying two means you're always going to use them. But in the summer, you're probably going to use a bit more of the darker colour. And in the winter, you're probably going to use a little bit more of the lighter colour. But overall, two products will last you twice as long, but you'll use them up in a way that's much better. Now, if something is too dark, so say, for example, your eyeshadow is too dark and you don't want to buy two colours, what you can do is think of something that's inside your makeup bag that's already light, like a foundation or a paler eyeshadow. Put the lighter colour on first, then put that eyeshadow on that you felt was always too dark. And if your eyeshadow is too dark or your foundation's too dark, put something darker underneath it. So this could be a contour product, or eyeliners tend to be darker than your eyeshadows and lip liners tend to be darker than your lipsticks. So put a lip liner or an eyeliner or a contour powder underneath your product first, and then you'll get a darker base when you put your product on, and it will make your product that you're wearing a little bit darker than what you're looking for. If it's too shiny, blot with a tissue first and then use a buffing brush. I just reached my buffing brush. You're going to use a buffing brush and a little bit of powder to just buff it down. And if it's too dry, you're going to blot with a buffing brush, and basically you can put a little bit of powder over the top if it's got a bit of shimmer on it, or you can use a little bit of EstherMarie treatment oil. I'll show you that. I'll reach for one of those and I can show you one of those as well. Now, if your texture's too thick, buffing brush again. You can see buffing brushes is the way to go here. And if you apply too much of the product, then you can use a makeup remover cloth. Again, I'll show you one of mine, and it might be something you can use. So those were the main questions that came up. Buffing and blending was the absolute key. Ideally use my treatment oil #1 to do it, because basically if you've got any allergies or sensitivities, then you're going to use it as a makeup product to buff down, to thin out, whatever you want to call it. #1 is the best to get. And the blending and buffing brush is the best to do too. And don't undervalue tissues, because tissues by the side of you or a makeup remover cloth are really good ways just to take away a little bit of product when you put on too much. So that's when you've got products and don't want to buy any more products, and basically you just want to correct some of the mistakes applying them. But say you haven't got any products and you want to go out and buy some products, and I get asked all the time, what's the best brand and what's the best product to use? Well, the truth is, there isn't such a thing as the best brand and the best product. It would be really simple to be able to say, and if that was the case, there would only be one cosmetic product or brand, because basically everybody would buy it and all the other makeup brands would go out of business. Unfortunately, it's very much dictates on a lot of things, and these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Do your research to start off with and think to yourself, after I show you these or what I've already told you and a few little techniques I'm going to teach you in a minute, check with yourself first. Do you actually even need to buy a product? Because the chances are you might even be able to wing it with one of my little techniques I'm going to show you. Think about your brand values. People find this very difficult, but let me tell you, this is how brands market themselves. But unfortunately, it isn't how customers buy products. And what we really need to do here is match the two things up. So, what are your brand values? It could be that you need something that's vegan. That would be for me. Definitely would need to be vegan. It perhaps needs to have recycling packaging, and maybe it needs to be made in the UK. One of those might suit your brand value, all of them, or just one of them. Where do you like to shop? So, as we know, we've got the whole sort of shopping experience here. So, here we have the lovely Harrods. Maybe you absolutely love going to this place, and to you, it's a shopping experience. So, there we go. There's no question. That's where you're going to go and shop your products. Or it might be your local Boots, or it might be your local Superdrug. So, where is it you like to go shopping? It might be like here, you might like that whole sort of budget experience where saving money, and you don't like to buy products which have got any name on them at all. It's just not something that makes you happy at all. What's your budget? Now, I've got to tell you that makeup products are anything from £1 to probably £300, let alone 100. And the problem here is the fact that people get so influenced when they go shopping that their budget goes completely out the window. And then when they come and see me for a personal session, I will sit and add up all their makeup bag. And I can tell you that it's holidays worth. It's most people's makeup bags, or some people's makeup bags, or the majority of makeup bags that I see are anything between 150 and £2,000. Now, when I say £2,000, you might think, oh my God, that's just way too much. And this is where I see people who just don't stop and think about buying products. And they might have in the region of probably 150 shades of eyeshadows, something in the region of about 12 lipsticks. Take a lipstick on average is, I don't know, £20, say. Somebody's got 10, that's £200 alone in lipsticks. And the truth is, what you need to understand is these products go off in time. And it isn't a big thing that the companies do to make you buy products, but it is something you need to be mindful. If you've got 10 lipsticks and they've all got a 12-month sell-by date on, ask yourself the question, are you going to get through 10 lipsticks in a year? Or is it more likely that those 10 lipsticks are going to last you 10 years? Returns policy. Now, you've got brands out there like QVC, which give you a 12, what is it? I think, don't quote me on this. Is it a 60-day money back return? They're great ways of trying products. I recently brought something off QVC. It was a brush for the garden, and it's still sitting out there. I've only tried it twice, but I just know that if I wanted to, I could return it. So ask yourself the question, could you return the product after you've tried it? Maybe the samples as well that you could try. So if you're going to go and buy a gift, be scared, be careful, be gift and special offer aware. The 3 for 2s, the money saving ideas. I can't tell you how many number 7 little mini eyeshadows I've seen in people's makeup bags. The free umbrellas, the free bags, and all the rest of it are there to influence you to buy products. What we really need to understand here that they're not free. You've paid for that through your product. And at the end of the day, you need to be mindful of, are you getting influenced buying products just because there's a gift with purchase on there? Packaging, I touched on this earlier with regards to recycling. You've seen it on the telly. I was only seeing it earlier where I think it was, can't quote the name, but it was a brand on there, a very high, expensive brand, saying that they now do refillable perfumes. Well, quite frankly, if you look at the packaging that you're putting the product in and you look at the packaging that the refillable item is in, to me, that's a lot of packaging. So what's your packaging goals? Is it that you like shiny, top-end products that once you've used the product up, you like to keep the container? Or do you really like to use products that brands out there in cosmetics that even use cardboard, which means that once you've used it, you can pop it in your recycling. Colours and shades and your influence now should be bottom of your list, because if I can teach you how to change your colours that you've already got in your makeup bag, or if you purchase the product and it's just slightly the wrong colour, if I can teach you that, then going out and buying the exact colour isn't exactly the best way to be looking at it. And as far as your influence is concerned, what is it? Is it the YouTube video? So we have here a lovely YouTube video, which at the end of the day, let's face it, nice and blurred. And I don't think that eyeshadow is probably going to look like anybody. Is it your friends and your family who are influencing you? Is it the fact that you want to save the planet, the vegan? All those elements should be top of your list when you go and buy your product. And as far as your colours and your shades are concerned, keep that much looser. Don't be so het up about buying the wrong colour or shade. So let's work about the finish. At the end of the day, I spoke to you about when I first started, what was your influence? And it's hard to underestimate that making mistakes is actually fun to do. And when you think about your choices when you're buying products, the experts and the influencers and the brands, I don't think necessarily have your interests at heart, but you need to go back to that page where it says what's your influence, which is this page here. I do a workbook for this. If you want a workbook where you'll get all this information, just email it me and I'll send you. You need to work out what your influence is there. So let's go to some questions. So the questions to get you thinking. So a couple of you messaged me back with regard to some questions, and I've just popped a couple of them on here. Now, lovely Jane, good friend of mine and client, she's a coach, and she had a really interesting way to address this. When you think about your makeup products, think about what did you like about your makeup and what would you change? So this could be, how could we adapt the products that you're putting on and perhaps make them a bit lighter, a bit darker? Do you like the look and the feel of them? Because it's a big thing how they feel, even how they smell. And have you felt that you've achieved that? So what makes you aware that your makeup actually needs changing? Is it the fact that that influence or that TV commercial has made you feel that you aren't doing the current trends out there? Or is it yourself that's talking to yourself? You need to ask those questions at the end of the day, because I disagree that anyone's makeup is wrong. I think anyone's makeup is right, because if they're, put it on, and if you've put something on, if you've achieved it, I don't think anybody should be critiquing you, but most people actually find they critique themselves far too harsh. Now, Anita looked at it in a different way. She said that she was telling me about one of her mistakes was when she was buying a foundation in the airport recently. She found out that when she got it home, it was far too dark. And this is when you go into those shops, or even when you're buying something off the internet, I guarantee the colour that you get it home won't be the same. If you're buying it off a YouTube video, it won't be the same. It's one of the reasons why I don't sell makeup anymore, because I actually feel it's very difficult to sell it online. For me, I would rather you go and buy some products with some guiding knowledge from myself, and then come and see me, and then basically I can show you how to make it work. Now, Pam purchased as a free gift. So I purchased as I got a free gift and never used it. I can't tell you how many number 7 little eyeshadows I've seen. She got influenced, so that was her mistake. She ended up buying a product because it seemed a good deal at the time, but she actually ended up buying the wrong product because it had a free gift with it. And Sam was telling me about, she went to a house party with some friends. It's the home shopping element. And basically she felt like she had to buy a product. Hands up, how many people have done that? Yep, there's a few of you. The people who've gone to home shopping and basically you've really felt really uncomfortable and you felt like you've had to buy a product. So that's where your makeup mistakes started. Or it could be that someone's brought you something as a Christmas present. I'm really against people buying people for presents, because how do you know what product to buy? You're better off getting somebody a voucher or something like that, and you'll find that they can go out and buy a product that they want. Or buy them an EstherMarie voucher for a makeup lesson. It will be, they might find they might not even need to buy anything. So these are some pictures of obviously me working where we've mixed and blend products. And this is where I want you to think about makeup now. I want you to think about makeup as being a makeup artist. And that doesn't mean someone who's clever. That just means as makeup artists, we take products and we mix and we blend them, okay? We take this, which is a lipstick, and I will have mixed it with a little bit of foundation or a little bit of eyeshadow, and created something that could be used into a cream blusher. And then over here, this is a typical thing that you'll see me showing. This is just some of the makeup products that people have left with me because they've just said, I can really see now how that product doesn't work. Here we've got a foundation where basically that foundation was just a little bit too thin. So what we did was, this is one of my mixing compacts. And what we've done is we've put a little bit of the foundation into one of my mixing compacts, and we've added a little bit of translucent powder, or it could be a little bit of a white eyeshadow, or it could be a little bit of bronzer. And then you mix it together just like you would in your kitchen. Most of you know how I work now. And obviously here's one of my treatment oils. So if you just feel that your product is just a little bit too stiff, maybe it's going on sticky, or maybe it's a bit dry, take one of my mixing compacts, or even use a bowl or a plate. You know, if you don't want to buy one, they're £10. If you don't want to buy one, fair enough, but it works. It makes life a lot easier if you do. Mix a bit of my treatment oil in and you will be able to loosen up that product. So I will show you in a minute some of the ways that you can do things. So when it comes to using this information that I've shared with you, what I want you to do is do like what I'm doing there. I want you to sit with a big smile on your face, and I want you to tip all your makeup products out onto a table. I want you to get yourself by some light, by a window with a big mirror. And I want you, I know you haven't got a makeup salon like I have, but I want you to put all those products in front of you, and I want you to pick them up, and I want you to mix and play and have a bit of fun. And I want you to do this on a night or an evening or a day when you're not going out, because if you do it when you're going out, you're going to be stressed. So believe me, don't do it. You can see down here, I've mixed some products. There's a mixing compact. This is actually a professional makeup artist palette, but you can see there all different brands, some brushes. Put your brushes in some little pots. Watch one of my other videos on how to do that and basically get yourself sorted. For me personally, some things that you need to add into your makeup kit that will make this a little bit easier. You can buy my products, or you might have something like this at home. I can email you a list. Just email me back or message me and I'll send you the list of different things that I recommend. Mixing compact is really good to use. My buffing brush, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is an absolute godsend. It's £10, and basically it will transform your makeup. You can use it with your eyeshadow, you can use it on your lipstick, on your blusher. It will just buff all your makeup out. You can use it with products. You can just use it on its own. A little retractable handbag brush. I'll just grab one of those. They're really good to use if you don't want to buy lots of products. It's a little brush that goes up and down. You can use it for eyeshadow and blusher and all sorts. A makeup remover cloth. I'll just go and grab one of those out of my drawer here because they're really good to use. Just grab one for you. So when I'll show you what to do. There's one of my, and I'll get some of my treatment oil. So down here, there you go. So I'll actually do a little live session with you in a minute, and I've got all my products ready. So if you want to try some of these things, advance warning again, go and stop the video or what have you. We can't at the moment because it's live. Stop the video, go and get your makeup, and you can follow me doing these things. If that's it, and that's all you want to know, then basically let me just share with you a couple of things that I can help you. Still free things. I've got a quiz. Now, this quiz helps you work out what you need to do, and then I can give you a video consultation completely free of charge. I'll email you back. Email me, I'll send you the link. Join my beauty live sessions, which is where you are right now. I've got another one coming up shortly, and they're every month. Or you could book a one-to-one session, which gives you access to my membership, which you get 12 months support off me. Lots of things, courses and presentations and all sorts of things that I do working with wellness experts. And if you're not familiar with what I do now, I do a lot more than makeup. I do all sorts of things which are all about giving you confidence and making you feel good. So just jumping back on what I wanted to try and achieve here on this session, we're focusing about the real truth about makeup and the fact that most people make mistakes. They are expensive and stressful if you don't realize that they are actually the best thing that you can do. So how to avoid and correct is probably the most important thing I can teach you. And hopefully with regards to buying products, I've just gone through that little checklist there with what you need to do first as far as buying products is concerned. And as far as applying products is concerned, then I'm going to show you a few little tricks now on how to correct those things. Now, if you want more information, can't see the end there, but my next beauty live, which is what we September, it's October, follows on really well into this, because the next beauty live is talking about how to choose the right products for you. So all of those elements there that I was talking to you about, which is obviously the makeup counter, that's the self-select, right through to what to say to the girl on the counter when she shows you a product and you're thinking, is this the right product for me? To watching a YouTube video and understanding whether that product's right for you, to saving the planet with regards to whether that product is going to get completely wasted and go in the bin, through to your values, which could be about recycling, repackaging, vegan, and whether you really want to go to Harrods or whether actually going to your local chemist or online shop is the right thing for you to do. I'm going to break those down into detail and give you the reasons why. So we're 43 minutes into this. So I'm just going to finish with the last few minutes. I'm going to end the presentation and go into some little bit of practical skills here. So if you want to just sit still for a bit, and I'm going to go into those things there. So I'm going to stop sharing, and hopefully now you should be able to see me loud and clear. I'm just going to watch myself live on YouTube just to make sure that's good. If you're watching on YouTube, then give us a little heart or a thumbs up or whatever you do on YouTube chat. There you go. I'm back in the room. So this is my makeup remover cloth. I'm going to show you how good they are. I'm going to clean my screen first. One of the first things that I do. There we go. That stream of light's now gone, hasn't it? So eyeliner. I popped a bit of eyeliner on the back of my hand, and what I want to share with you is how you can actually make this eyeliner work for you. So let me grab a couple of eyeliners. So let me pull down my screen. Ooh, as I drop my brush on the floor. So let me grab my screen, pull it down for you, and you should be able to see my hand just there. Okay, so here's my hand. I haven't had my nails done for a few weeks, so you just have to ignore my nails. I've normally got really nice nails. Here's a bit of eyeliner, okay? So you can see it's stuck on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of foundation. So let's just pop a bit of foundation. I'll pull this up on the screen in a minute. I'm just cleaning my brush for you. Okay, so here's one of my flat brushes. Okay, I've popped a bit of foundation on there. I'm just going to clean that handle for you so it's nice and easy. So, okay, so here's a flat brush. What's good about a flat brush, so these are £5, okay, and they make a massive difference. You can do this with eyeliners and you can do it with lip liners. So this is a flat brush. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn to cut into that eyeliner. So you've put the eyeliner on, it's too thick. I haven't got enough foundation on to do it. I'm going to do it properly, but this is what you're going to do. That eyeliner is too thick, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut into it, and we're going to just leave a very small amount. So some people like eyeliner this thin, some people like it this thick, some people like it shaded down. Everybody likes to do different things. So let me just put a little bit of eyeliner on the back of my hand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly overdo it. Then I'm going to take a little bit of foundation. So here's some foundation, a little bit of foundation, a little bit of brush. So you'll have put your eyeliner on, you'll have took your mirror, you'd have put your eyeliner on. I'd show you on me, but you won't see it so good. Put eyeliner on, and you're going to come and you're just going to chisel in with your brush. So here we go. So here's your brush. Make sure you can see it. So here's my thick eyeliner. And what we're going to do, can you see how I've been able to take that eyeliner down to the thickness that I want? Maybe I just need it to feather out on the side. So you would just keep blending it through, clean your brush, come back in, and keep taking that eyeliner down, and it will just blend it through to how you want it to be, and you will just be left. Now I've used a light foundation here so you can see. So you would have just blended that in now to the rest of your foundation, and you will have been left then with the line that you want, which is just there. This will blend into your foundation. So you can see how easy we can just keep taking it down. So don't worry about putting an eyeliner on that's too thick. You'll just use your eyeliner in a way that you want, and don't be scared about putting it on too thick. You can just blend it down. So have a go at using your eyeliners and get a little brush. You won't be able to use a brush like this, okay? A brush like this is just going to be hair on it there. A brush like this is just going to be, ignore that. A brush like this is just going to be too thick and it's not going to be able to do it. You need your thin liner brush to cut into it and keep feathering it down. You might even decide you want it a bit smudgy. So what you can do is then go over it and just smudge it in and just soften it. Maybe you want that eyeliner to just be very slightly noticeable. So don't worry about eyeliner. Use a flat brush to be able to blend it down. Then I was talking to you about buffing down products. So let me just show you on my face. I'm going to use let me try and find one. Let me try and find a foundation that's too dark. Okay, or maybe you've put this on and it's just not gone right. So let me just show you on my face with this one. I didn't put any mascara on in the end, did I? So here we go. Here's a foundation that's too dark. Okay, let's pop it on here. And I've gone, oh my life, what am I going to do? My foundation's too dark. I've put it on, I've purposely done it really dark so you guys can see it. I'm going to take my buffing brush. Now, if it's in a place where you want it to be dark, which is obviously like this contoured area, what you could actually do is buff it in and it would actually make a really nice blusher, for example. But say, for example, this then is just too dark. What you can do then is take a EstherMarie cloth. So again, we've done an eyeliner reshape. Now we're going to put foundation on. That foundation's gone too dark. The best thing to do is get a cloth. Makeup remover cloth's perfect because what it does is it grabs the product. Take off what's on your brush. Don't take it off your face. Take it off the brush. Then go back in with the brush again. And what will happen is the brush will automatically lift off a little bit of product. You might go, actually, that's perfect. Now it's really, really good. Or you might say, it's still too dark. I don't want that colour. Imagine if that was there and it was just too dark. So this is the beauty of buying a lighter shade foundation. If you've got a very dark, meaning that, so this is me. This is how I work. This is one foundation. This is another foundation. This is too light. This is too dark. But I like the fact that I can actually get the perfect colour by mixing the two together. Two different brands. One's a stick. One's a cream. One's going to be wetter. One's going to be dry. But you'll work out which is the right one for you. So what I'm doing now is I'm going over with a little bit of foundation of a lighter shade. And what that will do is it will bring it back to a much softer colour. So you can see now that that's much more accessible. So just to show you how much difference that has made, I'm going to put the same colour back over here. So that was what happened. That's what I got. So give you the confidence. If you have a foundation that's too dark, buffing brush, it will take off any excess. £10, best thing ever. Okay. You're going to remove, you've made the mistake, right? Remove off the excess onto your cloth. Try blending it in. It might be in an area that works really well for you. So you might go, actually, if this was a contour, you might think, oh, that's absolutely perfect. Right? Still a bit too dark, isn't it? So we're going to clean the brush again. Look at all the product that's come off onto the cloth, right? Clean the brush again. You're going to reach for your paler foundation and you're going to go straight over the top of it. Once again, maybe twice. Use your two foundations, your lighter and your darker, to work in harmony with each other. You might want to clean your brush, just remove a little bit of excess and then come back in with it. Okay. And now I've got a match either side. Now, what happens if my foundation is too... So you can do that with eyeshadows. So if you've got your light eyeshadow and your dark eyeshadow, if you put too dark an eyeshadow on, put a lighter one over the top. If you've got too dark an eyeshadow, to the opposite. But what works really well with eyeshadow, I always think, if you're scared of having too darker eyeshadow, pop a little bit of foundation on first. Make your eyelid a little bit lighter, and you might find your eyeshadow will be lighter as well. Or what you can do, which is great with eyeshadow, say you've put too much eyeshadow on. Right, so let's do this. So say, for example, this is an eyeshadow. Let me see if I've got one in here. Here we go. Here's an eyeshadow. Let's go for it. Let's put too much eyeshadow on. Okay, gonna use a little bit of an eyeshadow brush. Eyeshadow's a bit too dark. Bless, one of the cats at the door. You'll have to wait for me, Holly. So we're going to take really dark eyeshadow. We're going to put it on. And we're going to put too much on. And we're going to go, oh no, it's too dark. What am I going to do? Right, let's really whack it on. Let's come down here with it. Let's get a bit of a disaster going on where you're thinking, oh, looks too red, looks too dark. That's not what I want at all. Take your buffer brush, little secret buffer brush, and just watch this. Just buff it with a bit of foundation on, and you'll be really surprised with, actually, it just blends in. This is just such a great little brush, biggish brush. But this is one of my first makeup brushes that I had made about 10 years ago, and it's been my best seller ever since. So now, look, I've got a great eyeshadow. Look, this is the side without any eyeshadow on, this is the side with. I really like that. What was a disaster has now turned out to be really good. Now, I know that's brown on my skin, which is always going to look good. If it was blue eyeshadow, I might have a little bit more of a problem. If that was the case, you might want to take a £5 makeup remover cloth, sell loads of these, and you might want to physically remove a little bit of the product. You could also put a little bit of foundation on underneath just to hydrate it. You could wipe it off as well. So we've corrected an eyeshadow, we've corrected an eyeliner, we've corrected a blusher, we've corrected a foundation. What was else on the list? Okay, let's do lipstick. So let's say our lipstick was not dark enough. So what we're going to do is we put our lipstick on, and we thought, I really would like a darker colour, and that's too light. Take any pencil. Yes, eyebrow, eyeliner, lipstick. As long as that pencil is darker than your lipstick, it'll work. So here I have a bit of a plummy purpley colour, right? It's an eyeliner. Have a bit of fun. Take that eyeliner, put it over your lipstick, and you'll be amazed. It'll just give your lipstick. You could do it with a brown pencil, that would work as well. You'd be really surprised. I wouldn't suggest green or blue. That won't work, will it? But that's the best thing to do. I've got no mascara on because I wanted to show you this. So let's take a little mascara. So here's a little freebie Estée Lauder product that I picked up at an airport recently because I just need a little bit of mascara. And you pull it out, and basically it's just really wet. And that's the problem. I have a lot of clients who show me these things that they're just too wet. I also don't like the width of it because my eye is just much bigger and I find it really difficult to use. You can do a couple of things here. You can take a spoolie. This is a spoolie. Let's see a hair on there, I think. So we're going to take a spoolie, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it on a different way. So this is a different way that you can put your mascara on. So I'm actually taking the brow side of the spoolie. I'm going to take a mirror, because magnifying mirrors are your friend with regards to mascara. And I'm going to put my mascara on the bottom of my lashes using the bottom of this brush. Now, if you try to do that with that big brush, you'd have got it absolutely everywhere. So that's a really good way to do it. And if you get your mascara on and it's too clumpy, my suggestions are, most people know this now, don't use that. Take some mascara off. And the secret is to put that back inside your container as soon as possible. The reason for this is that dries out. The longer that that brush is out, it dries out. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your mascara on using this brush. I just find it a lot easier. You can see compared to my eye. You can also do this. These are £5. These are my mascara brushes. Here's a little trick for you. Okay, fold it down, and then if you've got arthritis or if you find it a bit difficult, you can hold your brush closer to your body and put it on that way. So if you're making mistakes putting mascara on, this is a really good way. Underneath your eyes, on top of your eyes, and you'll find you have a lot more control. I talk a lot about how to put makeup on, talk about posture and position, bringing your arms in and doing things makes a lot of difference. So one last little thing was regarding if your things are too shiny or too matte. If they're too matte, first of all, what you can do is dab this brush all over, and this will take away any shine. Now, what happens if I'm going to look shiny here because I'm under a light, but what happens if you don't want to be, you do want to be shiny, okay? If you do want to be shiny, what we're going to do? So this is one of my stock bottles. This isn't the bottle that I sell. This is my salon size bottle, which a few of you have actually asked for me to do. I started selling 50 mils, then I went up to 100 mils, and now this is a 200 mil. So you'll have to let me know if you want one of these, but it's a big, big size. I've got mascara all over me, look. So you're going to take a little bit of my treatment oil and you put it into your foundation. If you don't want to do that, another little way of doing it is pop it into your hand. So if you pop it into your hand, then basically you're not contaminating your foundation. Now, say your foundation is really difficult to apply. Take your brush. I use this to put my foundation on. Absolutely love it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that, my mixing medium, which is my treatment oil that I manufacture. I'm going to mix that into a little bit onto my brush. I can do two things here. I could take my foundation and I could take the product, put it onto my face. But what happens if you've already got foundation on and it's too matte? This is your little secret. So you're just going to gently just distribute a little bit of oil all over your face first. Don't rub, okay? Just apply a little bit all over your face. And then once you've applied it, you can then blend it a little bit more. And what that does, it just gives a really lovely, you can probably see me a little bit more shiny, gives a little bit of a dewy effect to your skin. I mean, I love my treatment oils. They go in my hair, absolutely everything. So that's what I use to condition. You can put it in your eyebrows to basically give your eyebrows. You might find your lipstick wants to be a bit shiny. It's great to pop a bit of foundation on. And if you get a little bit of a red neck or a red arm or what have you, pop a little bit on there and do that. So that's a really good way to do things. How are we for time? Well, there we go. We're an hour in, so it's about time we finish. As far as some Q&As are concerned, let me just share with you a couple of questions that have come through while we've been online, and also while I'm just going to actually pop a little bit more. I quite like that darker colour. So here you go, look. I think I need my foundation to be a little bit darker there. So reading up on my screen here, the little questions that have come through. I'm going to ignore the one that says which is the best brand, because you need to stop thinking like that. The best brand is the right one that's going to be the right one for you, which is your brand values. If you're really struggling with that, give me a call and I'll ask you some questions. I can then tell you the best brand to go and buy, but it isn't going to be one that I can just say, blah. It's not going to be Boots number 7. It's not going to be Yves Saint Laurent. It's not going to be Estée Lauder. It's going to be the brand that's got the right ethics or the right values that you want. Questions that have come up then. So I've got a question here which is asking about pearlescence and sparkly products, which I guess I haven't covered. How do you make a matte eyeshadow sparklier and a sparkly eyeshadow matte? Okay. Making a matte eyeshadow sparkly is pretty easy. You're obviously going to get a sparkly eyeshadow like this, okay, or some of that glitter. Put your eyeshadow on and then you can pop it over the top. If you'd put a product on and it was really, really, really sparkly, I'm afraid there's not really much we can do, because sparkle, which is mica, is probably the most stickable product that you could probably get. My thoughts to start off with is, if you've got a sparkly product and you don't want sparkle, 2 things that you can do. Put it on the back of your hand first, see what it looks like. Secondly, do it when you're not going out, because if you're not going out and you don't like it, I've got a third thing I can suggest as well. If you're going out, then if it's just too sparkly, if you're not going out, then you can take it off. The third thing is mix it into your body lotion. Sparkly products notoriously last you far too long. For those of you who know about my makeup museum, which is over there with all of the products that people hand me back, I would probably say there is that many sparkly products in there. I could paint a wall with them. If the best thing is, if you like sparkly products, just get one sparkle, either the gold tone or it's normally gold or silver based or pinky. Just get one sparkly product and mix that into your eyeshadow or your lipstick or whatever you want it to be sparkly. My honest advice is buy products that haven't got sparkling, that have got a flawless finish. If you need to know what flawless is, then watch my next beauty mindset next month and I'll show you about textures and I'll talk to you about what's matte and what's sparkly and what's iridescent and all the rest of it. So I'm afraid I can't really help a lot when you have got lots of sparkly products, other than the fact that you'll probably end up donating them often back to me. Put them on your body, not your face. They're much better on there. How do you know? Another question that's coming. How do you know expiry dates? Talk about this a lot in my other beauty lives, but just a little one for you. Let me find a product that's going to show up on the screen. There you go. There you go. There's one of my treatment oils. So here's my treatment oil. And you see there, it's got a little pot and it says 12 months. So it basically says, use this product once you've opened it within 12 months. Now, a little secret that makeup artists do. We actually put a sticker on our products when we've actually opened them, because I can guarantee if I was to open your makeup bag and pull out products and say, okay, when did you start using this product? You would not have a clue. So if it might say use within 12 months of opening, you haven't really got a clue how long it's been. I have got a lot of people with products that have been in the makeup bag for 25 years and they're still using them. But at the end of the day, you need to know about expiry dates. I've got a free little video about that, so you can watch that. And if you can't find it, message me and I can share it with you. And the final question is, how can you get a product waterproof and stop it from smudging? Okay, so if your product is not waterproof, what you need to do is you can buy a waterproof maker. So it's a product that you can put on over the top of mascara. I don't think it's a professional product. I think you can get it, YouTube it, and you might be able to find one or message it. If my personal preference is waterproof mascaras really, really dry out your lashes, the product dries out quite quickly. And if you don't need it to be waterproof, don't get buying one. Most importantly, I'm going to ask you if you're finding your mascara is is coming off too quick, I'm going to be asking you about what skincare products you use and how you take your makeup off. If you are taking your makeup off with baby lotion, baby wipes, that type of thing, the product sits on the surface of the skin and will still be there by tomorrow morning. And when you put your mascara on, you're going to put it over the top of the residue of that product. So make sure when you use makeup removers, my biggest advice is, apart from the fact that actually, if you use my makeup remover cloth, let me just show you, you don't need a product, you just use a bit of water, or you can use a little bit of treatment oil. Let me just show you. You remember my hand that got eyeliner on? There you go. It's off. So all the product sticks to this. So you don't need to be buying all of those expensive eye makeup removers unless you've got waterproof mascara. And if your product's leaching, don't put your eye cream closer than here. Be careful about using foundation too close to the eye. Pop a little bit of pressed powder or setting powder around the eye makeup. And you could also perhaps leave it for a couple of minutes before you put your mascara on, after you put your makeup on, just for your makeup to sort of dry down. The other thing is, you might find that you have slightly runny eyes and you might be better off not putting too much mascara right in the corner. You can also have what's known as greasy eyelids, in which case you might just be wearing mascara and don't use any eyeshadow. Put a little bit of pressed powder around the eye area, the translucent or transparent type, or a very neutral colour eyeshadow, and that will just absorb any moisture around the eye area, especially if you've used an oily eye makeup remover. So that's it for me. I hope you'll join me next time. I think I've answered all the questions, but that's hopefully will give you some idea that actually it was a bit of a twist with regards to makeup mistakes, because actually makeup mistakes are good. You should embrace them, you learn from them, don't get stressed over them, but most importantly, make your makeup mistakes when you've got time. To use things like this brush to cut into your eyeliner, to use things like this buffing brush just to buff and blend out, just alone, like these 3 brushes and a little bit of my treatment oil is what I teach nearly everybody. You can change everything in your makeup bag with these things. And I hope that's giving you some fun. If you're watching it on YouTube on playback, then please say hello, send me a message, subscribe, whatever you're supposed to do on there. And if you're watching me on Zoom, I hope you've enjoyed.